Sketching on the go is my favorite way to travel, and I'm here to convince you to try it too. This past Christmas, I headed to Thailand with my friends and sketched every single day. I captured everything from an ancient temple in the forest to an eclectic art village, and I got to meet some wonderfully sweet people through sketching. Come along for this little therapeutic art adventure and discover the joy of travel sketching with me. One of the best things about travel sketching is that I'll never have a dull moment on any trip. I don't find myself reaching for my phone out of boredom anymore because I have something much more fun to do: sketching. I had an hour of layover in Bangkok on my way to Chiang Mai, so I squeezed in a quick drawing session at the gate. I drew my first meal in Thailand at the Bangkok airport food court. This is not your regular crappy, overpriced airport food. It might not look fancy, but this is actual legit great local food at very reasonable prices too. I had the boat noodle, which is a traditional Thai dish in a rich spice-infused broth, and also tried some very tender pork stew over rice. Even though it's just a simple sketch and nothing impressive, I'm glad I was able to immortalize this delicious first taste of Thailand in my sketchbook. Fun fact, all the McDonald's in Thailand have a statue of Ronald McDonald doing the Sawadee pose. So back at the hotel, I finished off this page with Ronald and some calligraphy to commemorate the start of this very exciting trip. On my first day in Chiang Mai, with the help of jet lag, I woke up early enough to get some sketching done before the city fully hummed to life. A lot of people ask me, when you've spent so much money on flights and hotels for a trip, why do you waste precious hours of your time painting when you could be sightseeing instead? Why not just take a photo and draw it at home? Well, for me, sketching on location is the best way to really absorb the beauty of a place. Instead of quickly snapping a few photos and moving on, sketching is a forcing function to help me be more present, to observe and learn about all the tiny details that go into something as overwhelming as an intricate ancient temple. For instance, at Wat Prasing, a 14th century temple that is most well known for its splendid golden pagoda, I was especially fascinated by all the animal motifs in the decoration, like the golden elephants at the foot of the pagoda. I learned from a local monk that they're a sign of strength and protection guarding the relics inside. These bird-like structures on the roof are called chofa, or sky tassels, and they symbolize a link to the heavens above, acting as guardians to ward off evil spirits. These handrails are a particularly interesting piece of mythology. It's actually a crocodile beast spitting out a sea serpent, and it symbolizes the flow of life. As you walk up the stairs to the temple, they are the guardians of the sacred realm within. If I wasn't sketching it, I might never even notice that there are actually two creatures interconnected. I also snuck in the local pigeon hanging out on the roof, just for funsies. It's these small details that add so much life and authentic energy to my sketchbooks. By drawing on location, I feel more connected to each place I visit and discover interesting bits of lore like this that's easily missed if I didn't sit down for an hour and really looked at everything around me. Sketching taught me to be more observant. As I walked around Old City, I kept getting distracted by the shabby but lively street vendors, a tiny shrine on the roadside, intricate carvings outside a temple. I wanted to sketch everything. Even the prison signs here are cute. Yes, the prison signs. But alas, it was time for lunch. In between bites of food though, I still managed to squeeze in a quick sketch of the mango sticky rice that we had for dessert. And oh boy, was that naturally ripened Thai mango delicious. My friends completely devoured the whole plate even before I started drawing it, so I ended up having to draw from a photo reference while I sat there looking at the sad, empty plate. However, it was so yummy that we actually got a second plate. Thanks to my sketchbook, I'll be able to savor that creamy, sweet taste over and over again in the future. My goal for this trip is to sketch one spread per day, so in the afternoon, I walked around town looking for something interesting to finish off this spread with, and I found a statue of these three very handsome men. They're the three founding fathers of the historic Lanna Kingdom, of which Chiang Mai was the capital city. I've never been good at sketching people, especially because they tend to move around so much. So practicing on statues that won't walk out on you is a great place to start. I realized I've been painting with yellow and sky blue for the majority of today's sketching, so I kept using those as the main colors. Even though the spread was done piecemeal in different sessions throughout the day, sticking to that color scheme tied everything together, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. I am particularly fond of sketching old architecture with so many intricate details to pore over, especially in a beautiful serene setting like this. Wat Palat is an ancient monastery hidden in a densely forested mountain, and its moss-covered pagoda looks like it's been frozen in time for centuries. It simply took my breath away. It was a luxury to be able to sit down, slowly take in the surroundings, and carefully study the sunlight dancing across the moss and leaves. Then a fun game to translate that into varying shades of green into my sketchbook. Here's another reason why I love travel sketching.
Can I take a picture?
Sure.
When I see children's eyes light up with wonder and amazement as they watch me paint, I think maybe this will inspire them to draw more. Maybe they'll fall in love with travel sketching like I did. And maybe, just maybe, they will not stop drawing when they grow up. Unlike so many of us who let the busyness of adult life push our creativity to the side. If I can inspire kids to never forget that childlike wonder of sketching whatever you want, whenever you want, without fear of judgment and for the pure joy of capturing the moment, that would be the biggest accomplishment of my life. As nerve-wracking as it is to paint with an audience watching, it's the kids that always make me the happiest. I also met a fellow urban sketcher from Bangkok, which is where I'm going next.
So cool.
Yeah, it's very useful.
Yeah.
And she generously gave me some tips for places to sketch there.
Cool.
Actually, how do you write Wat Palat in Thai?
Sorry. Check to make sure.
Because I don't have internet right now, so I
Okay.
can't look it up.
She even agreed to write the name of the temple in Thai for me in my sketchbook. Now I have the most wonderful souvenir I can ever ask for.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
I don't have.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
I am very happy to see someone that do some skit.
Meeting a fellow artist on the road creates an instant connection across cultures, and it's another one of the many beautiful aspects of travel sketching.
Bye. Thank you.
Being a huge stationery nerd, I had to check out this very unique store in Chiang Mai called bookbinders. They have a huge collection of vintage-style stationery items. This old-timey aesthetic is right up my alley. I apologize for the shaky camera work, but I was just way too excited to find this place. They actually specialize in bookbinding and have many beautiful and unique hand-bound journals and notebooks. I knew this hobby existed, but I've never really understood the appeal of bookbinding until I came here. I found this big jar of super cute mini sketchbooks, each with a different binding and different color combinations. I was even more excited to find out it's watercolor paper inside. These will make the perfect tiny sketchbooks. Suffice it to say, my wallet got significantly skinnier after this, and I got significantly happier. Here is my full haul. 1 hand-bound leather journal with assorted paper inside for journaling, 3 mini sketchbooks with the cutest color combos, some tiny greeting cards, and assorted metal clips for my sketchbooks. I love this bookmark that says "Escape the Ordinary." It's pretty much the mantra of my life. I also picked up this hand-bound zine that is all about the art of bookbinding. I think I might have just found myself a new hobby to explore. Bangkok Wat Art Village is a huge compound that's a combination of artist studios and handicraft marketplace. You can see a wide range of art styles from plaster sculptures to original tote bags, cute handmade accessories, and all kinds of fun creations. The entire village is decorated with extremely over-the-top whimsy, and it feels like walking through a colorful psychedelic fever dream. I unfortunately didn't have time to paint it on location. That would have been an amazing experience. but I did end up finishing this sketch after I came home. My favorite store here was this pottery studio. I just love their shabby chic fairy tale vibe. They have this collection of painter-themed wares, and they were just screaming my name. It's almost as if they were specifically made for my taste. As a painter, I had to support a fellow artist who puts such loving care into their craft. I ended up getting this Van Gogh ceramic palette and a paint tube-shaped accessory stand. And here is the finished journal spread for today. I'll be the first to admit that I'm a big, awkward introvert. Ironically though, I am endlessly fascinated by humans. I love getting to know people from different cultures and sharing my hobbies with them. I just don't know how to strike up a conversation with strangers. At the local market, I passed by this very cute fruit stand under a canopy of coconut trees. The couple that ran this booth looked like really nice, friendly people. I saw them chatting with the customers, all smiles and everything. Their adorable decorations also tell me that they're exactly my kind of people. As I painted their fruit stand sitting across from them, I was debating the entire time whether I should go talk to them. What if they hate my drawing? That would be awkward. After a whole hour of mentally preparing myself, finally, when I finished the sketch, I worked up the courage to order a juice from them and show them my painting.
Hi. Can I have a pomegranate, please?
Okay.
Also, I painted this.
Oh!
This is you.
Wow!
With some awkward translations, I think they were trying to say they saw me painting this whole time and were really curious what my drawing looked like. So I'm glad I overcame my social anxiety and showed them my finished sketchbook. I hope I brought a little happiness to their day.
For you.
They even gave me a free pomegranate. They were so sweet. As they were making my juice, the lady used Google Translate on her phone to show me this message in my language. Thank you. I love your art and I'm happy to be a part of it. Sorry for not being able to chat earlier.
Thank you.
It took everything for me to not burst into tears right then and there. As a shy introvert, sketching is a great icebreaker for me to start a conversation with strangers, something I'd normally be terrified of doing. It's these beautiful, genuine human connections that make my travels extra special and memorable. To finish off this last spread, I headed back to Wat Prasing Temple in the quest for more cultural inspiration, and I was not disappointed. In a quiet corner of the temple, I found this cute little statue of a Singha, the winged lion that is the iconic king of mythical beasts in Thai culture. It's also what Singha beer is named after, although the locals pronounce it Sing. I also did a more detailed study of chofa, or sky tassels. If you remember from my earlier sketch, it's a symbol of connection to the heavens. Learning about these small bits of folklore through sketching really helps me to gain a deeper appreciation for the places I visit. It makes me feel less like a tourist passing through and more like a student, studying and absorbing the quiet, untold stories behind the local landscape. And that wraps up my very magical 3 days in Chiang Mai. Months later now, when I flip through my sketchbook again, I can still vividly feel the tropical sun beating down on me as I painted the golden pagoda. I can taste the sweet explosion of flavor of a fully ripe mango over creamy coconut milk, hear the quiet songs of a temple lost in time, and remember just how good that pomegranate tasted after I found the nerve to talk to a stranger. I invite you to pick up a pen and go sketch. It has fundamentally changed how I travel and helped me see the world with a renewed sense of wonder, and I think it might just hold the same magic for you. To see what art supplies I use for my travel sketches, check out this video linked on the screen right now. And I will see you again in more of these sketching adventures in the future. Until next time.